So it is a great time for addressable TV in Italy now, because we are at that phase where we've passed besides the early adopters of addressable advertising, and more advertisers are approaching it. So it's emerging in a way in the pace it's growing at, but it's already a significant market if you consider all the players involved. And then you can have from broadcaster inventory, both apps, on-demand content, AVOD content, to linear substitution for a few publishers, and then you have set-top boxes, you have different markets. It is peculiar of our market to be mostly a digital terrestrial market, so 96% of transmission and more is digital terrestrial, which means that most households just have TV sets. So by changing TV sets with time, and because of the switch off we have massive acceleration of the penetration of connected TVs. So now 1 out of 2 families in Italy owns a connected TV, and that's enabling addressability and the reach of addressable campaigns. So we have been running addressable campaigns since 2017, I think. We were kind of pioneering it, because we find it's a fantastic tool. Because we're passionate about TV, and so that's an innovation of our business, and we loved it. And then literally, it's the best of digital world and the TV world. So you have the emotion, the impact, the efficacy of TV, but you also have the dynamic management. You have the addressability and the measurement of digital. So it's very powerful, and we are very, for us, it's like an open lab. And so every time an advertiser is coming to us, I would like to do this, we hardly say no, but we try to see what we can do. We test with them and see what we can take out of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not really successful, but that's how how you learn. And I think it's a digital transformation of our business, and we are happy to navigate through it. So I think we in terms of measurement, which is key, and we hear agencies and advertiser asking with a loud voice for measurement. We hear them, but we think we are on the right path. So the way the TV JIC is approaching it is, they have created the biggest TV panel in Europe, and then they've had census data. They've found a way to merge it. It's taking a couple of years, maybe 3 years actually, in the roadmap, but we are almost there. And by the end of the year, we will be able to measure a campaign, and it's the duplicated reach across all the screens, which is very powerful, and that's for broadcaster. And then on the other side, we have a new JIC that's come into place, that's been created, that is going to measure all digital, and we are placing the basis for that. This JIC video part is going to be measured with some comparable standard to the TV JIC. So you will have 2 different JICs with different players. One is highly regulated, the other one is digital with different regulations, but they're going to be comparable. It's not going to be immediate. It's going to probably take another 1.5 years, maybe 2. But I truly believe, even if I'm digital and we are used to have everything quickly, that these kind of things that need to be balanced and equal take some time. But we are getting there. I think consolidation across different markets, different countries, is key for our strategy. And we see it because we see that the advertising market is becoming international. So more and more advertisers have centralized hub, or decision making is centralized, and so it makes sense to provide them, to respond to them with a similar strategy. And also we believe there are a lot of cross-contamination opportunities in know-how on the legacy business. And also if you look at how we are all developing, and we have several occasions of talking to our peers, we are all more or less pursuing the same strategy, the same development, and so it would make sense to join forces and do it all at once, which makes us faster and more efficient, in developing into the digital world, because that's where most of us is heading. It's a challenge. We have started with Italy and Spain, and we are open and we are actively looking for more countries to expand to. But we're firmly convinced that that's the way to go. And all the launches and all the consolidation that is happening in the market is clearly going in that direction. I think the anticipation of the EU Commission of making Google responsible for not following competition regulation, I think for anti-concurrential behavior, I think it's creating a precedent that is really important, and I think it's moving the direction of creating a more fair market, that fairness, plain level field. That the Digital Market Act that has come out, the Digital Service Act, I think we are building the framework. Maybe it would have been nicer to have it before, but it doesn't matter, so we are getting there. And I do believe that also looking at changing behavior is going to be hard. That's why a decision like having them breaking their stock and selling some of the parts could definitely be a solution. It's hard to imagine how that would work out, what's going to happen in the market, but it's definitely creating the fair conditions for everyone to compete in the value chain.